We are on the job today with Adriane Schwager. She's the CEO and co-founder of GrowthAssistant, here to talk about the number one mistake job hunters are making when showing up for an interview. Great to have you here. What is a common mistake, and is this something new?
I'm seeing a recent trend in people not coming totally prepared to an interview with, like, what is the company that they're interviewing with? What do they do? Not only like what does the business do overall, but like how do they perform that service? If it's a service business, for example, they don't need to know the ins and outs, but they at least need to know what the business does.
Why do you think people are showing up unprepared for interviews? So
many interviews now are Zoom. When before, if you were to have to go in person to an interview, maybe there was this prep that you would do beforehand for the interview. But now people can kind of go interview to interview to interview all day long.
Does being unprepared tend to happen among young people looking for their first time job or more senior level job hunters?
I'm actually seeing it more from the experienced hires than I am from the junior people. The junior people are probably about the same as they were coming into it. If anything, the junior people are actually checking out more that the business is posting on social. So they're checking out Twitter, that, they've looked at your LinkedIn. They may not be doing the outreach as aggressively, I'll say, through those channels. But the more mature interviewers, I'm actually seeing it more there. And the most, like the segment I'm seeing it the most is when a third party recruitment agency is involved, like a staffing firm or a recruitment company, and they're finding you a placement. Something's happening in the handoff of the candidate from the recruitment company to the company they're interviewing with, where that candidate isn't reading the prep, not getting the prep, but they're coming in without that prep.
You mentioned some tips along the way. What's some more advice for getting set for that upcoming interview that impresses?
When someone has listened to a podcast that I've been on, or a podcast about the business, they know, from that podcast, you can usually pick up on some culture norms that business has. You get an idea of what the business does, maybe what the struggles are. Usually the podcast has a theme. Some issues that have come up recently in the business. So things that should be like connecting with you too as a candidate. Like if you're going to spend your career at this company, you want to be aligned on some of those things too. It's kind of helpful to know about that headed into the interview.
Thank you for your job hunting tips.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.